Hey everybody, I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Correspondences for Work and Magic for the 10th day of September. It's a Friday, 2021. Well, if it's Friday, Venus governs magic. The favorability is very good today. And if you choose to do anything at all today, then it can focus around compassion, love, and harmony, attracting a partner, partnership issues in general. But healing, I think, is also one that's very important today, especially with all of the issues that we've been dealing with of late. Um, the water element is strongest today. The numerology for the day is a 1, so unity, wholeness, and new beginnings. You want to probably take a look at the rune divination just to get, in fact, I think I'm probably going to go ahead. I've done a binder for it, so I'm probably going to do a separate post on that. And I'll probably publish it over on Patreon and Stepping Aside both. But just to get you thinking about how important the thoughts we think are. In other words, and also the perceptions that we develop from all of that. Thoughts manifest form, and that's kind of the central focus of the rune divination. The moon's in Scorpio, so intuition's strong. Let's see, the 17th mansion of the moon is active. Alachil, it reverses destitution, strengthens love and buildings, and assists sailors. Well, so if you know anybody out on a boat today, anyway. Around here it's too smoky and it's raining, so we've got both rain and smoke today here, so that's going to be fun, right? It just never ends. I swear, it just never ends. So anyway, let's take a look then after I fan myself here. It's getting warm here in my room. Let's see what we have. All right. With healing a concern for many, your working today can take a varied focus. Relationships with others are strained, and we're still dealing with COVID, and both things require healing. With Venus governing magic today, it gives a witch any number of suggestions for a ritual or working that focuses upon healing in some manner, whether it focuses on relationships, in specific ones, or just relationships in general. Or healing perceptions surrounding the continually mutating virus. Those two things seem to be at the heart of everything right now. Everything just sort of extends from there. Let's see. Today's magical focus then that I list here on in the post itself, and we talked a little bit about that, involves invoking compassion, love, and harmony, which in and of itself can be its own working, supported today by the water element and the feminine polarity. It's just all sort of aligning towards something like that. Add to that a healing component along with raising consciousness so that a higher level of understanding shifts perceptions could be the focus of the working. I mean, it seems kind of complex, but realistically, it all sort of flows together. I would recommend using the transition period between the sunset and night hours, sort of an eclipse effect, if you will. We've got the, equinox effect, not eclipse. That's coming up on the 22nd of this month. We're going to have Mabon, and it's also the autumn equinox. It's that same sort of principle where you're in the in-between area, where you're drawing from both ends of the spectrum. So if you can determine roughly, I mean, it's a rough estimate, right, of where that transition is. But you can incorporate letting go of perceptions that are interfering with fundamental awareness, followed by alignment in spirit to promote healing, because healing really takes place in the perception area of things. So and of course a lot of it, that's going to depend on whether or not your perception is being governed by spirit and higher self-awareness, or if you're allowing ego to govern that, then you might as well give it up, right? Well, that's the whole point of it, is to align in spirit, and from there healing is possible. So vervain on the altar removes negative energy and promotes protection, healing, and balance, if you have any of that. Or you could just use some roses. Yarrow as well promotes love, harmony, and releases negativity. That would be good to use. Burn some sandalwood to promote healing and clarity. And if you don't have any, if you're out of that, if you have some copal, that'll work as well. Add some rose quartz to assist in transmuting ego into spirit and to promote mind, body, spirit balance. Green, rose, pink, or white candles can be used, as can black, to invoke goddess presence into the working. And from there, you're just going to begin and end the working as you typically do. And again, your tradition tends to govern how you do that. Your point of perspective as a witch will do that as well. So I'm not going to really define that for you. That's really something that I'm just going to respect what you do there. So that's why I'm being a little vague there. But I just think that, we all come from different backgrounds, and some of us share traditions and some don't. And so, you don't have to, have someone else tell you how to do that. I don't think anyway. It's just best, I think, if you don't have a shared tradition with a coven, you're going to develop your own methodologies anyway. So anyhow, so I guess that's really it. That's all I have to really say here. Again, I think that healing perception, unfortunately, is the best way to go here. We're kind of at a weird place where if you try to control someone else's perception, you're going to meet with resistance. And so I have to wonder sometimes if it's really best to just let things play out the way that they do, and the only thing that makes me say no on that here is because of the effect on the kids that perception is going to have, and it's not going to be good. And so I think there has to maybe be a point at which you say no more and you get involved, and you're going to know when the best time is to do that. But again, sometimes what's playing out is there for everyone's benefit, so that we understand the cause and effect nature of choosing ego over spirit, of choosing a service to self modality over a service to others. And people come into this life they've made that choice. When the soul infuses into the body, the choices are already, the overall ones are already made. And whether you're going to take that service to self approach or service to others is likely already made before you ever come into form. And if you choose one that makes it a little harder for other people, then it's there to challenge that whole experience for them to still remain, to remain focused on service to others, and to remain aligned in spirit focus. So it all plays out in a cause and effect type of experience. And some of us are here to catalyze, some of us are here to receive, and anything in between. And sometimes the catalyst is not very comfortable. But if we don't let some of it play out, and you can all, speak your truth about it and state your opinion about it, but as we see, it's playing out anyway. And I suspect that it's a higher force that's allowing this, so that we get it through our heads that this is not okay to be letting our children bear the burden of and the effects of the COVID virus. The variants are awful, and particularly the current ones. So to allow them to go into classes unprotected, to me, is just horrifying. So it's not about personal freedom here. It just isn't. And that may be the fundamental message that needs to be learned. And but again, do what you want to do today, and the favorability is very good. And we'll talk again on Monday. Check out the Esoteric Influences on Sunday. That'll go up. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, that goes in it. And you can get that early on Saturday. The sign up is in the left side panel over at my blog, Stepping Aside. You can just put your email in there, and then it'll come to you Saturday evening sometime. And you'll get that ahead of everybody else. Otherwise, it posts on Sunday. And then look forward to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune next week, Monday and Thursday. And then I do these little correspondence videos Monday through Friday. So that's the schedule of events. And so in any event, thanks for watching, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.